I tried reading this book, Pass the Message by Rioboca, and I couldn't finish it. Let's talk about why. Please note that this video is not meant to hate, berate, humiliate, or cause tea or drama sa'yo, sa inyo, at sa community nyo. I am not here for that. We are not here for that. We are just here for the story. And also, let me just say this, that the author himself, Rioboca, prior to sending me this book, he is knowledgeable and he knows how I do all of my reviews here on YouTube, particularly dito sa BookTube. So he already knows that I never hold back. All he wants me to do is to lay it on him right. Diba? Sabihin ko yung totoo. And this is exactly why I'm telling you that I DNF'd your book. I will not give this story any rating dahil nga DNF ko siya. DNF means did not finish. So bakit ko nga ba pinick up itong libro na to? Well, the thing is, sabi ko nga kanina, this book was gifted to me by the author himself. Prior to that, I have no idea who CJ was. So si CJ, siya yung unang nag-email sa akin. Tapos, ang sabi niya dito sa email, nag-comment siya doon sa isa kong post sa Facebook. Tapos, kaka-receive lang daw niya nung copies niya, nung debut book niya, which is ito nga ang Pass the Message. So, na-receive ko na nga itong copy ng book. Meron akong video. Kasama siya dito sa unboxing video na ginawa ko. Tapos, sobrang excited ko. Bakit? Nung nabuksan ko na nga itong libro na to, na-curious talaga ako. I mean, just look at the cover. Yes, it is simple. When I first laid eyes on the cover, immediately I was like, what the heck is this? Like, anong meron dito sa cover na to? We got the Pass the Message, my 3 a.m. It looks like a chat. Tapos, after nun, ito nga, nakita ko to. May mga inclusion siya. Pero what really got to me was this one. I know, it's very simple, right? It's just a QR code na may nakalagay na scan me. When you scan the QR code, it takes you doon sa website ng publisher niya. I think for me, it's a brilliant marketing technique, diba? Make use of the QR codes, use the technology, since obviously the story revolves around the technology that comes with your phone. And then I opened the book. Immediately, I was met with the author's note. Sabi niya dito sa may dedication page niya, hintayin niyo na lang ang message ni Audrey. Immediately, di ba? Parang, what do you mean? What do you mean hintayin ko yung message ni Audrey? Tapos, ito pa, sabi dito ni CJ, thank you for being one of my first readers. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to pass the message. Alam niyo yun, in terms of branding, in terms of marketing value, parang bang sinasabi niya sa akin na this is a story that's worth passing on. You know, pass this forward sa susunod na magbabasa. Parang ganon. Growing up in an era where a lot of, what was that? What do we call that? We had this thing called chain messages, parang ganon, where initially, it's like a message, tapos merong nakalagay doon na parang text, okay? It's a text message before pa, prior to all the chats. Tapos, may directions doon na you have to pass this message to 8 or 10 of your friends, parang ganon. Tapos, may nakalagay doon na, if you don't pass this message in the next 1 or 5 minutes, you will be cursed with blah, 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 blah. Ganon yung vibe nitong story, or rather, yung pinaka-marketing niya. Kasi yun mismo yung nakalagay doon sa cover pass the message. Tapos when you read the back cover, or rather, the summary of the story, ganun din yung vibes niya. I hyped myself up kasi sobrang interesado nga ako na basahin itong story na to. Let me read you the summary lang, ha? Naging malaking palaisipan sa buong klase ang biglang pag-angat ni Audrey bilang top student. Kahit inaasahan ng lahat na si Maia ang makakakuha ng puwestong iyon. Naging malinaw lang ang lahat ng isang scandal video ni Audrey at ng kanilang advisor ang biglang kumalat sa kanilang section. Ngunit, nang maaksidente ang kanilang advisor at magpakamatay si Audrey, ang sagot na akala nilang magpapalinaw ay siya pang lalong nagbigay sa kanila ng mas maraming katanungan. Sino ang nag-record ng scandal video? Siya rin ba ang nagpakalat nito? Kanino galing ang mga mensahe? At bakit isa-isang namamatay ang huling nakakatanggap nito? May tao ba sa likod ng mga nangyayari o sumpa ito ng isang naghihiganting multo? So, tell me that's not interesting. Come on, tell me that's not interesting. Diba? Nandito na yung hook eh. The cover has the hook, the summary has the hook, and then for me, the summary hits. Kaya ako din talaga siya hinahype. Kaya ako to hinahype na parang, oh my God, this is it. This is the story. This is the November reads for me. Ano-ano nga ba yung mga nag-work para sa akin reading into this book? Isa dun sa mga strength na nakita ko dito sa storytelling nitong si CJ is, number one, nandito yung hook. Nandito yung hook. Dito pa lang, sa simula, sa pinaka-introduction niya, message 0, nandun na yung hook. Hindi niya ako pinaghintay. What CJ did was, isinulat niya kaagad doon na ito yung nangyari. What triggered all of the events leading up to the middle of the story? Kasi hanggang dyan lang ako. Ayan na, nakikita mo ba tong... Ito, hanggang dito lang ako. Nailagay niya kaagad yung hook. Kumbaga, hindi ko na kailangan magkaroon ng slow burn leading up to the actual problem of the story. Ibinigay na niya sa akin yun kaagad. Yun yung nakakapanghinayang eh. Kasi alam ko na marunong siya magsulat. Okay, ang pinaka-setting kasi nitong story na to is nandun sila sa North High Academy at mga senior year students itong mga characters dito sa story na to. So, I think that's always something relatable, diba? Especially since I know that the target market is around the ages 15 to maybe 25 years old or even 30s. So the hook is there, the setting is relatable. It's modern, by the way. So magkakaintindihan tayo kaagad. The entire story was written in Taglish, which is a combination of Tagalog and English. So another reason for me to be able to read and understand the entire book. Na-introduce din niya sa akin kaagad yung mga main characters or rather yung mga parang most important ones at least. Kasi isang buong klase to. Ayan, I think mas nakikita ng ganito. Gumawa ako dito at sinulat ko yung mga names ng mga characters kasi I have to remember all of them. The introduction itself is already giving. It is giving! So madali for me na ma-identify who is who, which is which, ano yung pinaka-role nila dito sa story. I think one of the most important things about being an emerging author or writer is that you understand your own characters. If you start writing and you don't know your own characters' personalities, paano gumagana yung utak nila, your story is gonna get lost. Ngayon, doon sa pinakaunang mga chapters, okay, nandun ako. I'm with you. I'm so with you. Kaya nanghihinayang talaga ako. Yung intro, chapters 1 to 6, okay eh. Okay sana siya. Ayan o, nakikita mo ba yan? May mga notes pa ako. Dami ko notes. Pero, kaya ko gustong i-acknowledge first and foremost yung effort talaga nitong si CJ para maisulat yung story na to. Alam mo ba kung ano yung theme ng story niya? Yung overall theme niya ha? Base pa lang dun sa introduction hanggang dun sa chapter 6, Let me show you. Sinulat ko din yon. Ang theme niya is mystery thriller. Given, nandito sa cover nakalagay, mystery thriller. Nagsulat din siya ng mature content. I don't know kung ilang taon itong si CJ nung ginawa niya tong story na to, but to have that guts to discuss a mature content by the form of scandal sexual video and put that into his debuting novel, Balls of Steel, mister. Balls of steel! And that's exactly what I want for all my authors. Magkaroon kayo ng balls. Magkaroon kayo ng guts to write something controversial, to write something na can be taboo, can be, I don't know. Para lang, mabuo mo yung isang story kung saan madidiscuss mo dun sa mga readers mo na, hey, this thing happens IRL. It's not a fiction thing. This thing happens IRL. Maybe not the moo-moo part, pero... Yung iba pa niyang mga themes na nilagay dito sa story is yun nga, number 1, sexual harassment, bullying. Oh, di ba nangyayari yan? Another thing is slut-shaming, pornography, and then of course, murder, and all those other gruesome stuff. Itong si CJ, he's willing to take on that risk. Risky si CJ, and he knows it. Do you have any idea how gutsy it is for any writer to start their debut novels writing those themes in one book, let alone producing it and actually publishing it. That takes guts. So, Ate Carla, kung ganyan ka naman pala ka-excited dun sa story, dun sa pagbabasa mo, bakit mo siya dinenf? Isa sa mga napansin ko is yung editing. So, magkakaroon ata to ng big revision, I'm not sure, which I'm actually hoping na by the time na i-publish ko or i-post ko itong video na to, sana hindi muna masubmit nito si CJ yung revision niya. Tinanong ko si CJ, bakit ang daming unedited dito na diacritics? If you don't know what diacritics is, ito yung mga, teka, mapapakita ko ba dito sa video? Actually, ito, napansin ko kaagad ito dito sa libro. If you see yung galing, meron siyang parang, what do you call that in Tagalog? Gitling? Is that it? Gitling? So parang sabi ko, what do you mean? Bakit ka may diacritics dito kaagad sa summary? Tapos, throughout the book, throughout the book, yung mga lahat ng text, visible, or nandun pa rin yung diacritics, which, in my defense, in my mind, bakit mo kailangan lagyan ng diacritics yung buong text kung ang market mo specifically is Tagalog? Filipino. Lahat naman tayo nagkakaintindihan ng Filipino, ng Tagalog. So, why? Ayan o, nakikita ka. Ayan o, nakikita niyo ba yung mga red na circle? So, ako, as a reader and someone from the publishing industry, alam ko kaagad na, no, there shouldn't be any of that in your published manuscript. The editor should have noticed that, and the proofreader shouldn't have allowed that. Meron kasi ako mga nakita dito na layout lapses. Let me just show you. Page 162 to 163. This, teka. Hindi ko nakikita yung screen ko. Pero, ewan ko kung makikita nyo yan. This is a continuation from this side. It's part of the story. It's a text message. Kaya siya may ganito. Ayan. Pero, as you can see, pagdating dito, it's a new chapter. So, bakit nasa iisang page to? Dapat, yung next na chapter, it's supposed to be on another page. Or rather, inayos na lang dapat nung book layout designer na nandito yung text na to, dito sa baba. Diba? It could be adjusted. Teka, hanapin ko pa yung isa. Meron pa yun eh. So, ayan, kunyari, ito, yung Kahit na it's just parang part siya ng dialogue, and even if it's part of the character or how the character speaks, as an editor, you should have put EH instead of just E. Another thing is, may mga napansin ako dito na plot hole dito sa page 120. Ayan o, nakalagay plot hole. Hindi yun nakita ng editor. Which, again, as an editor, are you doing your job? I don't know if CJ paid for the editor or part na yon ng payment ng publisher, but it should have been noticed. Because if I did, yung ibang magbabasa nito, they would too. Oh, I'm just gonna say this. I'm not here shaming the people who worked on this book or the publisher. I'm just calling you out because it's not easy to produce a book and sayang yung efforts nyo. I'm here helping you out to see the things that you haven't seen. You say that there's a proofreader, bakit nakapasa to? Bakit nakapasa yung book design na yon? You need a little bit of improvement doon. Because as a publisher, it is your responsibility to make sure that the books that you come up with is up and par doon sa presyo na ilalagay nyo for the book. Yes, I know, this book was gifted to me, pero paano yung ibang mga bumili? Diba? You don't want to be bashed by all of your clients. You don't want that, diba? So, let's improve. Okay, in terms of the storytelling aspect, ano ang naging reason bakit ko dinenf itong story na to? Let's start with chapter 7. So, sa chapter 7, doon kasi inintroduce si Sir Timothy. So, sa chapter 7, nandun na tayo dun sa part na, okay, something happened to Audrey, something already happened dito sa advisor nila, and everything's gone to shit. And basta, nandun na ako doon sa exciting part. So imagine, Nandito pa lang ako, page 51 pa lang. Dapat i-DNF ko na itong libro na to. But, sabi ko, no. I know na baka magkaroon pa ng possibility, or rather, I had hopes na, sige, I'll continue reading the story. I'll still give it a shot. Binasa ko siya ng binasa. Hanggang sa napunta na nga ako dito, nag-stop ako ng pagbabasa sa page 168. So sabi ko, oh my God, yung chapter 7 talaga ang nakasira dun sa buong story. Nasira siya because inintroduce si Sir Timothy as this sort of genius guy, this genius professor who's also into holograms. Diba? Inintroduce siya as yung naka-imbento ng Holo 900. Doon pa lang, doon sa introduction na yon, sabi ko, oh no, don't give me the hologram shit. I do not need that. Let's focus on the cell phones. Kasi nakabuo na dun sa story ng lore eh. Meron ng lore. Napaka-random nung pagkakapasok sa kanya sa story. And then, he's a teacher. He's the new advisor. Pero, bakit siya nagsosolve ng mystery? At saka the fact na these students immediately trusted him. Sabi ko, okay. Kulang ka ng foreshadowing. There's a lot of spoon-feeding happening throughout the storytelling dito sa libro na to. Note to all of the emerging authors who wants to write a story, do not spoon-feed your readers. Allow us to navigate or imagine things as we are reading your story. You don't need to keep telling us what's going on dun sa scene kasi nababasa na namin. Sabi ko nga palagi dun sa mga tinutulungan ko ng mga emerging authors, do not tell. Kasi by showing the actions or the scenes na nangyayari, you are allowing space doon sa mga readers na, okay, you can just imagine this. Hindi ko ibibigay lahat ng details. I will give you the missing details doon sa ibang parts ng story. Para babalikan nila yung chapter na yon, tapos may isip nila na, oh shit, I missed that. Nagigets ba ako? Tapos, yun nga, as I've said, I highly recommend you remove Sir Timothy. Kasi talaga, yung Holo 900 talaga niya. At saka siya, mismo as a character, nakasira siya nung vibes. At saka for me, na-derail yung plot eh. And stick with the pseudo-horror theme. I know this is a mystery thriller, pero kasi you've introduced the ghost aspect, or rather the ghost narrative nga dito sa story. So, try to stick to that. You have a plethora of characters and you do not actually need to introduce a new one. Kasi any one of these guys can be your new villain. I'm telling you right now, there could be 2 or 3 of them who could be your villain. Kung marunong ka lang magtago or i-hide mo yung villain mo, yung main villains mo dito sa story, this could have worked without Sir Timothy. Initially, I thought that this is going to be students versus the adults sa story. It's like this. In my head, I thought that was the original plot kasi it would be interesting. Let me tell you why. Kasi you can also introduce the theme of like, not all adults can be trusted. Specifically, since you already introduced the theme of sexual scandal, yung scandal video nga dito sa story na to. So, and that scandal happened between a student and then a professor, or rather a teacher. I can use the message of do not trust everyone just because they are older than you or just because they are, attractive. Basta parang ganun eh. Or rather, yung mga students dun sa section nila, dun sa blockchain section, kahit na ilang beses sila lumapit dun sa mga adults, the adults do not listen to them because of their mindset na, I'm an adult, ako yung tama. Ganon. I don't know, bakit hindi ginabayan ng editor yung plot na yon? Kasi this is the summary. This has the hook. What happened to the hook? What happened to the plot line? It went out of the window! We have the aesthetics of the story already. So, Ate Carla, bakit pacing? Again, with chapter 7, that slowed down the momentum of the story. Kasi kakamatay lang dito ni Audrey eh. 'Di ba? It's not, by the way, that's not a spoiler alert. It's literally here on the summary. Now, the story could have played on what happened after they found out na, oh shit, she killed herself. She offed herself. Now what? Kasi tayo, kumbaga, this is where the remorse begins dapat. Na parang, okay, did they go to the cemetery? Did they go and see her during the wake? Gradually, doon na dapat magsa-start na, oh, ito na. May mga creepy things na nangyayari dito sa story. Why are we rooting for this random-ass teacher trying to solve the mystery? So parang, no, nawala yung focus ng story mo. Nawala yung focus kay Maia, dun sa students, dun sa mismong game nitong si Audrey. And then another thing that I wish could have been improved on is nagstick ka na lang dapat doon sa focus ng game. I thought this is supposed to be like Final Destination, past the message, gruesome horror theme. Diba? Kasi mystery thriller siya eh. I don't know if you're familiar with the movie Final Destination. So diba doon sa Final Destination 1, sumakay sila ng plane and then something happened. Tapos paglabas nila ng plane, or rather yung mga survivors, something kept happening to them throughout the film. Pero as they're, moving through the film, doon pa lang nila na-discover yung mechanics, or rather, what could have led them to experience all of these gruesome things. So that could be the mystery aspect of the story, pero yun, again, spoon feeding. Masyado tayong na-spoon fed dito. Katulad nun, yung doon sa mga pinakaunang namatay, yung twins. Tama ba? Twins nga ba sila? O basta, yun, yung kambal. Doon sa chapter where they finally received their message, bigla na lang doon sa ending nun, sinabi na, oh, okay, there's a dump truck who smashed against their house and that's how they died. Wala man lang tension. Wala man lang storytelling na mamaya-maya nagbabasa lang sila, naghihintay lang sila ng kung ano mangyayari. Tapos, kunyari, akala nila na parang, joke lang pala to, wala to, hindi totoo to, walang ganyan, parang ganon. Tapos, when they're starting to be composed, parang relax lang sila, biglang, BAM! Saka tayo magkakaroon ng tension! Tapos, sa next chapter, saka i-introduce doon na, ganito sila namatay. According dito sa Soko, or according dito sa mga police and mga kapitbahay, ito yung nangyari. So, yung mga ganun ba? Well, hindi ganun yung nangyari dito sa libro na to. Yung character development, or rather, yung mga side characters, yung guidance counselor. Oh my God. The guidance counselor. You know what? I'm all out for that. Okay, it's nice that you introduced a mental health expert into the story, but the mental health expert in this story is not being an expert. Kasi aware yung school na number 1, napanood ng mga students yung video. So that itself is already traumatic. Tapos na-witness ng mga students yung nangyari doon sa original na advisor nila. Again, traumatizing! And then finally, they discovered na because of their bullying, because of what they did, the repercussions of what they did was Audrey offed herself the next day. That is very traumatizing. Tapos, anong ginawa ng school? Pinapasok pa rin nila yung buong section the next day. At completely, patuloy pa rin sila sa everyday classes nila as if nothing happened. That's one of the things the story can definitely improve on. Delete, revise from chapter 7 onwards. You can salvage this. Yung summary mo, tsaka yung itong sa introductions, parang ganda na. Ang ganda na niya. Kailangan mo lang talaga siya i-work out. And pag-aralan mo kung paano mo itatago yung villain. Once you know how to do showing, not telling, foreshadowing, and then hiding your villain, to. This is going to be boom. This is going to be one of a kind. At saka, I think it would really help if you also, kayong mga writers, you would try to look up or research yung paano ba magsulat ng ganito, ng mystery thriller. You take inspiration from movies, from music, from existing books. You read them. And then, I'm not saying you copy them. Oh God, no, do not do that. That's plagiarism. All I'm saying is, take what's good, use that as an inspiration, tapos, that's how you write your story. I mean, develop your story through that inspiration. Nagigets mo ba ako? Literally, your own skills as a writer is an investment. So, invest in yourself. Invest in your skills. Do not let all of these naysayers ruin the fun, for God's sake. Ako mismo, naniniwala pa rin ako na meron tayong mga emerging writers na one day, kung itutuloy-tuloy nyo lang yung sinasabi nyo mga plano nyo sa buhay, kung itutuloy-tuloy nyo at seseryosohin nyo yung craft nyo, yung skills nyo na pag-improve, and yung growth mindset nyo, anything is possible. So, for this author, please keep writing. Don't let yourself feel down, okay? Kasi we're not here to destroy you. We're not here to put you down. I'm here to encourage you to keep going, to keep revising, to keep writing. Kasi nandito ka na. Nandun ka na. All you need to do is be consistent. That's all you gotta do. Take the stuff seriously. Write better. Yun lang yun. And then, yun nga, invest in better people. Alright, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoy this. And please comment down below what do you think about the story if you've read it. And any message for the author? Please let him know. I'll see you guys on another video. And kakain muna ako. Actually, you know what? May bagyo pala ngayon.